Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COGs Week 8 post-analysis. I know you're asking, where's Week 7? Well, me and Cordy are asking the same questions. The VOD disappeared and my computer shit out on me last week because tried to throw in a new motherboard and processor and it just decided to shit itself. But now I can't find the VOD, so it doesn't look like I'll be doing a Week 7, but Week 8 is long enough that I think this video will be plenty long. Give you your fill of analytical punditry. So here we go. Our first game is The Raft versus Pastafarians on Labyrinth. It's a long ass game. I got about halfway through it. Time stamping and doing shit, but then I was just like, oh, so done. So done. Okay, so it's all flat gat pyramidions except for I think it's the Nautilus here. The Nautilus is running a mortar gat instead. So here we go. Rush to the point. They start brawling. They go fairly even. Howard the Duck got a bit mispositioned, as you can see right there, and he ended up backing into the world, I think. So that put him at a disadvantage, and he popped fairly immediately. Duck Dynasty's at a bit of a disadvantage because now he's got two guns on him, but he does manage to get the Nautilus down before ends up getting focused down. So here we go, skipping to 20 minutes. Here we go, we got Alpha Nautilus leading the charge, obviously, because he has mortar. And it's not a really good long-range replacement for the flak because the arc ends up hitting this point. If you have to aim it high, which you do because the arc on that thing is massive. So you really have to compensate by aiming it upwards, and then the Pyramidion makes it difficult. If anything, I think it's a better side weapon. But if you're using it really aggressively like the Nautilus did in this game, I think it's an inappropriate substitute. You do have to get close, though. That's one downfall. So, Duck Dynasty, Howard the Duck end up focusing him. Poffin is now committed, but he doesn't end up going for the point block. If I was him, I think I would have rushed in, just tried to harass, waited for my teammate to come and try and point block. And that's where it kind of, you got to draw the line in Labyrinth games about it getting meat grindy. I'm just going to let this play while I talk. You got to draw the line. If the enemy doesn't have the point, then it's okay to try and point block and get a little bit meat grindy just to try and prevent them from capping it. Red team will end up capping it here, I think. But once they have the point and you start meat grinding, it's all moot and for naught. Like, there's no point to it. You want to make a consolidated effort to try and clear these two ships out. I mean, like, you can throw yourself at them and try and get some DPS down, but that's definitely not as effective as getting a team effort in there. So here we go. I'm going to look at my next timestamp, which is at 23. Again, getting kind of meat grindy. The old noodle is way far back there. At about 23, they end up finally managing to get the Duck Dynasty fairly low. This consolidated effort, this was kind of weird. Not really great communication on the old noodle, focusing Howard the Duck and then focusing the Duck Dynasty. But they do end up managing to get the Duck Dynasty low, so that makes it easier for them to come in later and try and clear them out. So here we go. We're just going to let this play out. This might take a while. I don't want to let this game go on too long. We got the Nautilus rushing in, mortar style. He knows he's weak, so maybe he thinks he can attempt to try it. He stays here at range. Duck Dynasty's turning around, so they're kind of unaware of him. Duck Dynasty was obviously aware of him, but no spots went down. So we have the old noodle coming in here. And my notes say he does something weird. My notes simply read, what the fuck is Noodle doing? Because I think he does a pass here, right? and then he just takes an hour trying to turn around. Like, you'd think he'd pop kerosene, because I know they both use kerosene. Kerosene helps you turn. Um, so either that or Phoenix Claw. But yeah, he's just kind of thinking. I don't know what he's trying to do here. So eventually, he finally gets his guns to bear. Howard the Duck's trying to turn. And the Pafa's starting to make headway on clearing out the raft. I keep calling them the ducks, but they're the raft. Um, that ram. Okay, so here we go. 25, 30. Okay, mouse accuracy. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Nautilus comes in. Getting a bit off center, which is kind of bizarre. Maybe one of his engines was out. Oh, they look fine. Howard the Duck's sticking around the globe, just trying to keep it locked down. Probably should have helped his teammate. I don't know if he was just coming from spawn. Again, I'm skipping quite a bit. Old Noodle's right on his ass. He's got the Nautilus right in front of him. I think he might end up taking out the Nautilus here. Nope. They end up getting cleared out, and this is the tipping point. This is when Nautilus finally managed to neutralize that point. Howard the Duck and Duck Dynasty end up getting some nice point blocks after it's neutralized. Again, they're not meat grinding when the enemy has it. They're meat grinding to try and prevent them from getting the point. Again, if you want to try and get a point block on a point you already have, by all means, meat grind away. That is condonable, if that's a word. So here, Pafa has a good rush, and I think the Nautilus goes down. Then Pafa ends up getting a really convenient ram, and then I think it's Howard the Duck ends up going down. And then they end up just cleaning him up, room style. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. I think, yeah, they initiate from two angles. You got the Pafa not there, and then the old Noodle coming around. Already managing to get that gap fire. Probably using heavy if I had to guess. Not getting focused. Not a lot you can do, but it's a good thing the old Noodle was there. Pretty was yelling at him a lot because he didn't. I don't think he had hydrogen because he wasn't doing a whole hell of a lot to try and avoid damage. Like, you can abuse the shit out of your engines, which is a permissible tactical decision to beat the shit out of your engines just to avoid a little bit of damage while your teammate gets on them. See, this is a convenient ram I'm talking about. Howard the Duck's facing way off that way. He's got the weak side. Pyramid is down. The old Noodle will start ticking this back, trying to get that back before the Ducks Dynasty jumps. At least get some headway made. 30. So here we got the old Noodle just brawling. Bit of a skip. Nautilus just made a swift kill there. Old Noodle just does not give a shit. Look, they're just hanging there. They're like, yeah, come on, kill me. I dare you. Itself. It's hilarious. There's no... You can try. Howard the Duck's just like, come on! Come on! Not managing to put enough damage down to get that one last flak shot on Pafa. And I think this is when they end up finally managing to cap. So this is when my notes end. Because I didn't want to have to rewatch it again. So here we go. We got the Ducks trying to make a consolidated effort. As I said, they're not needlessly meat grinding. Howard the Duck's getting a bit ahead of the Duck Dynasty. If the Duck Dynasty had heavy on that gat, he probably could have started shooting there. They're not focusing the old noodle, which is a bit of a tactical error. You can tell that it's more damaged because, I mean, well, you can't see it behind the text, but the freaking point on the Pyramidian's like bent down. You can definitely tell when uh something is weaker. Well, one ship is weaker than the other, right? Just by aesthetics. You can see how this crumpled rebar, right? And you see that bend in the nose that I'm talking about. Probably should have started off focusing that. Um, but that's a decision you have to make on the fly, and it can be fairly difficult. So, there we go. Duck Dynasty finally switching targets to the weaker Pyramidian. Um, it would have been easier if they just started focusing the Pafa Old Noodle. Right off the bat, both of them. They would have gotten them down fairly quickly and then just focused down the Nautilus. That mortar showing what it's made for. Close range brawling, hurting the Duck Dynasty quite a bit. Sushi is trying to keep up with all the DPS. And I can't really make a tactical analysis right now because Guardians are zooming out. Okay, here we go. God, can you get off the ships, man, please? I don't know what's happening. I'm not gonna try to make a tactical analysis if I can't see the broad spectrum. But Howard the Duck is in there. If I was him, I probably would have just stuck around the point, tried to neuter it instead of trying to get Nautilus off, and I would have let him come to me. But I guess that's what he's trying to do by trying to stay low underneath the point and be annoying. Kind of a Firestone-y technique, I guess you could say. Trying to bring his guns to bear. They're just kind of ballet dancing. I don't know why they're playing like this. It's kind of bizarre. I feel like there's something wrong. Maybe they increased turn time or something. Um, they're definitely not using. This is where Howard just gets stuck, and by Howard I mean Hazumi on Howard the Duck. Okay, so let's skip here. Not much happening. Red team is gathering. Gusto. Okay, here we go. I really like it when they attack from multiple angles. Usually one of your teammates will go down in that attack, but if you can clean at least one of them out, and then it's just a brawl between the two healthier ships, the more stable, armored ships. I don't know if he ends up getting the old noodle down. The old noodle's engineering off its ass, as you can tell. I don't think that was the same round from when it had low health. But now you can see they're brawling. Duck Dynasty is at a bit of a disadvantage, not landing as many Gat shots. Getting that armor down, not tearing them up, and when it starts getting around tide, you can tell the raft is starting to get a bit shaky. Howard the Duck's right coming in. Hopefully he holds off. Let's wait this one out. Does he go in? No, he bounced. I don't know if you can see that, but if you rewind the video, you can see Howard the Duck bouncing off a building just by looking at his name. This map, wind fucks with you hard. Okay, so he did stay back, probably forcibly from the building, but he definitely did. Got the old noodle. I guess he's trying to cut him off from even intercepting. I'm not sure. He's just kind of coasting around the edge. Turns around. This is an interesting engagement here. I remember my game in the Brood with the Brood and that arc, the big arc. See if I can bring that up with my maps. It's very reminiscent. You got the arc right here. We had an engagement where the gents came around this corner and we were just waiting like right here, and we slaughtered them because they couldn't get their guns on fast enough. I feel that's very reminiscent to this situation. Where he goes around this clock tower to Howard the Duck, and Howard the Duck's already got his guns facing. Let's see. So here we go. Got the old noodle turning the guns on. Wait for that armor to be stripped before he unleashes the, I think it's 6 bullets mortar holds. I'm not entirely certain. Boom, Howard the Duck is getting pounded. Ends up going down. Excellent camera work from QWERTY. Bit shoddy. As soon as you hit 0, it like does weird things with the camera, so you can't really blame him for that. Captain Falco just kind of hanging in this balloon. Tactical camouflage. Pafa goes down. The Nautilus, anyway. So, very convenient situation for the red team. You just gotta clean up the garbage, if you will. And gotta sit on that point and make sure. You can see Zoomies just rushing it. Duck Dynasty's moonshining. They want to get 2 people on that point so they can neutralize it as fast as possible. I don't know if they end up actually managing to neutralize it. They're kind of coasting. I think they want to attack, not making some shots, or the old noodle rather, making some shots. So they finally come in from 2 angles. Duck Dynasty's getting a pounding. Very difficult to keep your armor up when you got 2 gats on you. That's the interesting thing in Prim Brawling. Can't see much. Okay, so old noodle trying to. I guess they're switching focus. Not the best idea. I think Nautilus might try and bump him just to try and get his fire off of the old noodle. They probably should have just stuck with the Duck Dynasty. At this point, I would have said old noodle, stay on this point. Well, they have it, so there's no point in that. Take that back. They just could go clean them up, and then jump back on the point. If they didn't have the point, I would have said, okay, old noodle, you go after him, and then have one person stay on the point, or old noodle stay on the point and Nautilus go, because Nautilus has more armor. Fairly low altitude. I wonder why the players keep sinking like that. Maybe it's a tactical decision, trying to use the globe to your advantage. It'll definitely cover a flank for you. Like if you're sitting right here, no one can come in and try and start shooting you from that angle and ram you at least. They could get some fire through that. It'd be kind of difficult. So, not Howard starting to meet grind. Unless they skip too far, and which I doubt. Yeah, okay, Howard just meet grind. Duck Dynasty following after. Bad idea. And then Pafa takes it. Very, very close game. I guess I wasn't staring at the score. That was a last ditch effort at that point. Izumi dying. Not much he could have done. I don't think he could have made a consolidated effort in the time that they had left. So that was GG right there. I'm gonna switch my overlays and I'll be back. Okay, and welcome back. This is game 2. We got BFS versus the Brood, and cut to that. There we go. On Duel at Dawn. Very close matchup. I loved this game. This game was close as fuck. So this could be my second time watching it, I think. So I'm gonna analyze it as we go. Skip 2 engagements, etc. Again, the Suzumiya, some weird anime character. So is Kusanagi. Hardcastle admitted to just naming it after an anime character as opposed to some ancient Japanese imperial sword. You should have just taken the compliment and ran with it. Yeah, of course I'm in a Japanese history. Anyway, okay, so we got Junker Prim on the duck side. God, holy shit. You will see Sammy's Junker skills in full effect. He's always been really good at surviving in that son of a bitch. It's ridiculous. Once he gets low health, he will not die. It's like, even he won't even like tactically die. He won't be like, okay, we're at a bit of a disadvantage. It's 4-3. Might as well tie it up 4-4 and have equal footing armor wise. Not even. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna roll with it. And there was a minute in here where I thought it was gonna be game over. That'll be coming up. Duckface is already taking fire from the Hwacha lumberjack, I think. Just managing to arc it underneath that pipe. They look like they're trying to brawl through the pipes right in here. But as they find out, the Hwacha's are deadly, and Jace ends up sustaining a death somewhere in there. Getting shot through the pipes. Eventually, they realize that sitting in the ribs is not a good plan. And don't check your Facebook, because that was mine. What they ended up doing, right, is they were sitting in the ribs for a very long time here, and then they realized, oh, we're getting our shit kicked here, so we better not stay here. So they ended up like migrating to this area, and oh Jesus, mouse. Okay, ended up migrating to that area, and so the wind is blowing like diagonally into this corner. So eventually the clouds recycle, and then you get a bunch of cloud cover that like covers all this kind of area. So they had a really nice blanket of cover to just get in really close to the galleon and Prem, was it? Whoa, whoa, oh geez, oh geez, I'm not paying attention. Um, but yeah, that tactic ended up really helping them. I think they ended up using it once or twice. Oh, black screen. Oh, for the love of black screen. Okay, here we go. This is when it became a radio show, and Cordy's play-by-play got really, really important. For a 3-minute delay until we all started screaming at them. Holy shit, it went black. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, you see these clouds, and you'll see them move. Like they're coasting towards this corner, right? So you can see them sitting, and apparently Jace's master tactician mind was like, let's ride these clouds in. So I don't think they end up doing it this time, but they end up coasting in the next round of clouds. Or no. Yeah, okay, they're gonna take these clouds. That's probably a good decision. I think if they waited for the next round, it would have left them open to damage. A lot of bitching about the oh god damn it, the Artemis nerf. Yeah, a lot of people saying they just straight up killed it. I had the notes there somewhere. I don't think they needed to fiddle with its vertical pitch, I think, like the angle of pitch, because I know in the patch notes they said they wanted to skew Artemis use to being shot downwards. So meaning like if you're in a ship, you want to keep a higher altitude so it can shoot down. I don't think that was necessary. I mean, if you're touching the if you're touching anything, I would have said yeah, go for the AOE. That's a little bit OP, and the turn might have helped. But yeah, the turning speed and the AOE, I agree with. Everything else you could have probably done without, dialed back a bit, implemented in a future patch if it was deemed necessary. But no one's ever going to be happy with the state of the game, as it were. They're trying to lay down fire on the Quack Bar. Or, oh, Jesus. Sorry, the Duckface is trying to lay fire down on the Kusanagi. Getting a little bit overzealous. Wind is tossing him into his teammate. But they do manage to turn around and get back on that galleon. Not a lot he can do with that lumberjack at that range, but he does still end up getting the... that might be about just the amount the arming time needs. If they get a bit closer, that'll render the balloon pretty much useless. You can tell that the Quack Bar is just laying on those flat gat shots. The carronade side is... They have a carronade, I think, on the left side and on the front. Not entirely sure. this vein harpoon line. Duckface just taking a minute to get repaired. Kusanagi, beautiful. I think they used some sort of turning. Oh, nice tar. I don't know if I would have went in there. I would have probably stayed back. I think that was a tactical decision. He wanted to tar them. Uh, they said this was akin to chasing Singed in League of Legends, leaving a smoke trail behind you, and they're just kind of trudging through the black shit that damages you. Duckface is a little bit unaware of the Suzumiya here, and he gets a Water Barrage in the face. So that was, it turned out to be a decent tactic, except for the fact that the Quack Bars were right on him now, but they did manage to separate them. If I was the Suzumiya, uh, probably would have stayed on the Duckface and had the Kusanagi try and run around. Burning tar to try and cover his trail. That's just me. BFS loves their tar, as you'll find out in the Destructoid game. That was a very funny game to watch. Blew my mind that you could kill yourself with tar. I had a discussion with Urz as to whether that should be allowed, and he ended up discerning that it's not that bad because there's a kind of risk-reward situation. Because you know, if you tar yourself and the enemy comes up on you and lays down like a gat shot, it's gonna be counted as their kill, right? So there's that risk reward aspect to it. So they're coming behind this and they're waiting for the cloud cover again. I think the Duckface ends up dying to Water Barrages. There's a little tiny hole. Amazing. Right here, he gets shot through like this little space here. Right here. Getting lumberjacked. Suzumiya's ascending to try and get a good angle on them, which is very smart. You can tell their armor's down. And the Hwacha covered the amount of DPS it needed to kill it from the lumberjack, supplementing damage. Yeah, this little fucking hole here, that's what he shot through. Ridiculous. Beautiful gunning from BFS. Just hitting that railing right there. I think they end up going from two angles here. Sammy comes in this way. Oh, come on, paint. Comes in this way. And Brood comes, or Jace comes from somewhere in the ribs. And it ends up working pretty well. I mean, once you have multi-angled like pincer attacks, it can get hard to deal with if the enemy team doesn't know how to focus properly. And it's hard when you're backed into a corner like that. Kind of like trying to hold the point on Labyrinth. Eventually you'll get whittled down. Oh, no, never mind. The Duckface kind of came around here and made the same charge as they did last time. Look at them riding this cloud cover beautifully. Unspotted. They think they're still in the ribs. Oh, this is a beautiful play. Jace is on the run. Tactical decision was amazing. Very very different from Muse. I guess it would be the exact opposite, polar opposite. Muse kind of tried to use that snipe build, I think it was last week, and just it ended up failing pretty miserably. Can't tell whether this is tar. I don't think so. It's not black enough. So this is black smoke from Dawn. See, Duckface. Cordy was yelling at him for missing this round, but it can be hard as hell to ram on any map with wind, especially if you're riding with the wind, because it makes you go faster than you're used to. So Kusanagi is just laying damage down on Quackbar. I can't remember if the Quackbar dies here. I think he does. Or is this the ridiculous amount of health he was sticking with the rest of the game? Could be. Sammy BT played off his ass. Definitely my ban for the week. You'll see the play that comes towards the end of the game when I thought it was GG. Oh, I don't know if I like that, because when he rammed him, he turned the Galleon's guns right on the Quackbar. At least he's taking that fire for the quack bar. You know, he's not letting him get in there. Duckface definitely played the more aggressive bullet sponge here in this game. Trying to soak up the damage for his teammate. I don't think the quack bar dies. They trudge back over this way to try and intercept the Suzumiya. I don't think they can see it. But after that Water Barrage, that wasn't a good shot. Probably tell your gunners never to do that. Shooting Hwacha at long range, especially if you're not an assured hit, it's definitely not something you want to do because they'll give away your position. I mean, they were unspotted. They could have gotten there completely unnoticed, but they decided to fire that Hwacha, and then they realized the Kusanagi's over here because of that incoming fire. There you go, you got a spot, and then they're essentially cut off. The quack bar, just ridiculous survivability. Watch this, like, it's a 2v1 and he survives this. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's no way this should happen. He's tarring around. He gets the Suzumiya. That's nice. He's kerosening. He's trying. He's like last ditch attempting. Like this, the quack bar is how the old Noodle and Nautilus should have played in a Labyrinth game, right? Like trying to avoid all possible damage by just beating the shit out of your mortars and motors and balloons, just to prevent any DPS that you can. I mean, it gives the engineers a little bit more to repair, but if you can get around a corner to try and prevent any fire. Here's when I thought it was going to be GG. I'm like, okay, so what I thought they were going to do here is I thought they were just going to let the quack bar die. I'm like, okay, just let it die, it'll be 4-4, and then you'll be on even ground, right? Nope, Duckface charges in, which I thought was a huge mistake, and I'm like, oh, this is GG. They're going to either roll quack bar and then turn on Duckface, or kill Duckface and then roll quack bar, right? Nope, I underestimated Sammy BT, and I paid for it, and his engineers for that matter. You got the Duckface just getting rolled. I think he got Velcro to this piece of scrap metal here. Not a lot you can do there, but he ended up getting focused down. Quackbar is coming back into this fight when gets a ram. He's still down. This is going interestingly, to say the least. I think he might tar here just to get the Kusanagi. No, look at this. Like, he's still alive. This is getting retarded. Pops kerosene so he can turn faster and go faster. Slips behind here. They're chasing. They can't even help it. Jace is already back in the fight. A really convenient spawn for him. Amazing play from Sammy BT. Like, look at this. It's not even being scratched, and the Kusanagi's opening up on him. I think they were trying to replicate what Paddling was doing by camping in that corner, but I don't think they could because they didn't have the dual Hwachas on the one side. Suzumiya gets focused down. God, amazing play from the Brood, and especially Sammy BT, Veka, Ophiok, and Silas. Beautiful play. Sammy BT gets my Banff of the week. Good on you, sir. Good showing from BFS. Way better than the game that was the Polaris stomping. I think I'd go so far as to call it. So yeah, I'll fix my overlays and get to the next game. Oh jeez, there's 4. Okay, here we go. Game 3. We got Detoid versus BFS. This was, of course, a group stage. So... This was a freaking really close game. I mean, I don't think anyone, oh god damn it, anyone was expecting Detoy to be as good as they were. Okay, here we go. We got this. I don't know when they nerfed the Artemis, but makes me laugh that it was like the day before the COGs. Excuse me. it was like day before the COGs, maybe 2. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I played, but I just heard of the nerf the day of the COGs. So I was like, well, they what? And then I looked at it, and then I realized why no one was using it. It was I think they beat the shit out of it. You heard my opinions on it during the last game. Gonna skip till we see some action. How about that? And you got Detoid just kind of hanging out. Oh, geez, here we go. Okay, so I'm pretty sure yeah, okay, so what ended up happening was Detoid was hanging in this area. Oh god, my mouse is shit. Okay, so then the Pyramidion ended up curving around through that hole, going that way. BFS snuck around this way. And then kind of the engagement happens here. So, let's watch. This is fairly close. They started focusing the Kusanagi, but as soon as they caught wind of this squid, they were like, "Ooh, squishy!" So they went after that. Probably could have just focused down the Kusanagi, but I think that's what they want you to do. So going really hard choice. Oh, they got tarred hard here. Nice play. I love when Glider does that. Got Gilder Glider. I don't know what his name is. Changes every time I read it. Destructoid keeping it classy with these names, Flustercluck and Big Black Clocks. Okay, so they ended up ignoring the squid, which depends what you want to get rid of. Like, depends how annoying it's being. Killing support ships is a very weird thing for me. I think it's very situational based. Even though the Black Maria is in fact a DPS ship, it is definitely only helping the Kusanagi, who is inches above the ground at this point. So I think they did the right thing. He's trying to obscure view and pull a Sammy, not really working. Yeah, the Big Black Clocks has a really good angle on him from here. Black Maria, that's why you gotta watch out for those flat gat squids. At least I'm pretty sure that's what he's using on the side. Big Black Clocks ends up getting the Kusanagi down, pretty sure, because this was a fairly even game. Okay, hurry up. You're a Japanese Imperial sword, you don't need to take forever. Okay, so there we go. Finally down. And then Detoid is ending up focusing this squid very effectively. You got the Big Black Clocks trying to cut him off. Yeah, the Flustercluck, I think, coming either in through here or around that way. In through here. And they end up doing a lot of damage. And now comes the mind. They don't end up killing him, though. But now comes the mind-blowing part. Ready for this? God, when I saw this, I was just yelling at my screen. My window was open, too, so my neighbors were giving me funny looks. Okay, I skipped it. Where the fuck you... Oh, here we go. Look at this. He's tarring himself. They saw all this and they were like, oh, what is happening? So leave a comment. Do you think that should be allowed? Do you think self-suiciding using tar should be allowed? I'm wondering if you end up tarring yourself and dying, and if someone shoots you, if that counts as like a kill. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you think what you think about that. It's tarring because as soon as you get back on the helm, you're using the same thing. I think they need to get rid of that. That gets really annoying, at least for me, because I always pop hydrogen as a last-ditch attempt. So when I get on and my whole balloon's half dead before I remember that I left hydrogen on when I died. Bit of lag coming through. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay, so we got them coasting. I think they're trying to use those side guns. And not much effect. Kusanagi is gonna get blocked if the Black Clocks just come around that way. Black Maria getting focused. Good. Squishy. Come on. Again. Oh. Did Flustercluck... Oh, you bad person. I think he should have focused more on getting turned around. They're all trying to pop tar, trying to get the squid, and it just not happened. Oh no, that was the squid's tar. Never mind, not Black Clocks. Um, Turning around, Fluster Cluck finally. I think he's yelling side guns at his NGs, but they're on the front guns, trying to tar the Fluster Cluck. Black Clock's trying to lay down damage. Squid's just kind of kiting him. This game was amazingly close for a fairly recently put together team. Um, but Destructoid are good gamers. They're variety gamers, but they're still good gamers. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, here we go. Black Clock's coming around. Fluster Clock. They're splitting their focus at this point. Gaining height. I like this idea. Trying to get over him. And while he's getting over him, he tars him. And he gets out of the gun arcs, which is the main reason why he did that. But excellent flying from Gilder Glider. So you got the Black Clocks just being like, okay, let's just try and focus the Kusanagi. Their guns are probably damaged. Fluster Clock's hurting. But he does end up getting some luckily timed flak shots. I'm not sure if that's on purpose and they learned that, or if that was complete luck. But yeah, that was a good showing by the Fluster Clock gunners. Black Maria ends up going in there and cleaning them up. Kind of moot, trying to re-engage with his teammate. Firing on something. Okay, there we go. Fluster Clock is shooting at the Black Maria. Kusanagi's coming in to help him. That was a bad idea. You could have just cut him off by going around that way. Not sure if they knew that or not. Cloud cover and whatnot. Kusanagi's still unspotted, which is pretty hilarious. Oh, there we go. So they did manage to see him. I was wondering if they were completely blind or not. Black Maria, I probably could have just turned around and came through that way instead of going all the way around. But I think they're just trying to get some repairs down. Too much fire for the Fluster Cluck. He's gonna end up going down. Come on. God, they're fighting. No. Black Clocks, stay away. No, don't go in. Turn around. Okay, yeah, this is the end of this game because this is where he gets caught out, like, right there and just ends up getting focused down. What the Black Maria is doing is beyond me. Gilder saying it's moving like a cow. Couldn't tell you. I think Gilder just has a really shitty connection. Because, there's always the bitching of the legs with the BFS. No offense to you guys. It's a viable excuse, but get a better connection. They stay regrouped. Black Clock's not me grinding. Good thing. But I know he does end up getting caught out eventually here. More shifty. Okay. Come and do something. Okay, here we go. Bunch of tar, I think probably either... Looks like the Kusanagi ended up doing that pass. Not sure. Don't want to make this go too long, so I'm not going to go back. Kind of inconsequential. One of these two tarred. Trying to block their path. Good thing Detoid wasn't stupid enough to fall through there. I know a bunch of new players can always get overzealous. Black Clock's going to end up getting caught out here if he doesn't end up getting behind this barrier. Fluster Clock could go in and charge, and then Kusanagi could have pulled around like that. That's just speculation. Whether it would have worked or not is esoteric. Oh, I think you know what the Black Maria was doing is he's killing himself in that little cubby hole right in there. God, that's annoying. Again, I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on it. So I don't think they know that you can go over. Oh, he's backing off. I think Black Clock saw him. Kusanagi ending up coasting around. Separating. Were it anyone else, I'd probably call separating a bad idea. But they're not that separate, you know. They could converge into a pincer technique. Uh, okay. Very bizarre fighting angles here. That is difficult to say the least. Kusanagi not even taking any perma hull damage, just kind of coasting off into the corner. What do we got? Still nothing. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. One more consolidated fight. Eventually, the big black clocks gets caught around somewhere around here and just ends up eating it. Because, bad engaging angles, you know, and the like. Flustery clock took a pounding. Could have tried coasting around. You know, you could go, come on. There we go. In through around that way. That's very rough. But you get it. Go around this rock here. I think they ended up knowing that they were separated, so he just ended up going for it. BFS had could have sacrificed at least one more kill and still held it. Brawling, brawling, brawling. Jesus, okay. There we go. Goose and Huggies just landed on him. Why were they? Oh. Oh, it wasn't the big black clocks that went down. I think it's the fluster clock that ends up going down. Trying to get those gat shots from that far, I don't think that's happening. Black Maria is just kind of poking around the corner. They know he's weak. You can see it in the aesthetics of the ship. Like I said, bent nose, whatnot. Black Maria is just going to poke out and kill the fluster clock for the last kill. Good showing. 5-3 rather. Even getting a kill on such a good team is an achievement in and of itself. You know, had they gone up against the paddling, I think we would have seen a different story. You know, 5-0. But yeah, I'm gonna fix my overlays and I'll be right back with Brood versus Detoid. Okay, so I got the Detoid versus Brood game here, and yeah, they just kind of ended up steamrolling Detoid 5-0. Apparently, Detoid was having all sorts of issues with lag. But I don't think that's worth covering. I really don't. This is Brood, Detoid just sitting there screaming, probably at each other, you know. uh, oh come on, what are you doing? Oh there, okay, there we go. I don't think it's really worth covering. You know, it was classy 5-0. I don't even know if it's still in this recording. Oh, there it is. Lasted a whole 5 minutes. There's one going down. Fluster Flex trying to get the quack bar. Sammy BT survivability. Focusing him was a terrible idea. I think they were watching the VODs. They should have known not to go for that junker. A junker will not die. Yeah, that was a quick game. That was like a 3-minute game. God. That was rough. But Detroit had a good showing against BFS at least. But Brood just came in, showing that they were obviously the strongest contender, at least this week. And yeah, so I'll be back with the COGs as it stands and show you guys how who's facing who. Okay, so here we go. We got the Gentleman and the Brood, a redemption story from when we lost against the Gentleman. When I flew for them, it was a really close game. 5-4. Prim brawling was entertaining to say the least. Same thing with Polaris and Black Fight Squadron, another redemption story. BFS had a terrible showing against Polaris actually, but that was during the early days of the 1.2 patch. Merry Northern Storm and the Pastafarians. That should be an interesting game. But if I had to call a semifinal A and semifinal Like, if I had to choose who was seeding in, it would be Paddling and M&S. Don't think any of the other teams even show the same level of competitiveness that those two do. Maybe the Gentlemen. It'd be a really interesting game. The Gentlemen versus the Paddling will be really interesting. Oh god, that's gonna be a long game. Oh my god. This day is gonna end up being really long because this sniper match is gonna take forever. Getting them in the lobby is gonna take forever. But we should be able to get it done. Like, these two matches will probably go quick. This one will go quick. It's this one. Provided the Gentlemen beat the Brood. The Brood are playing pretty good lately, so they definitely have a chance against the Gentlemen. Again, last time they went up against the Gentlemen, it was a 5-4. So my predictions: the Merry Northern Storm versus Paddling final, and then probably the Gentlemen versus who do I want to pick? Who do I want to pick? Polaris Company, because Gilder's internet is shit. But yeah, okay, those are my predictions. I'll see you later. Have a good week. See you next week with more analysis, and then we get 2 weeks off. Should be a good time. I hope you enjoy the finale. I know Urz has a tournament, the Icarus Sky tournament. You guys should definitely check that out. But yeah, talk to you later. Bye.